Throughout the long weekend, Madikizela joined his traffic officers at roadblocks in Bitu, Knysna and George. He also visited local taxi ranks to check compliance. The Garden route has recorded an increase in the numbers of COVID-19 infections and hospitalizations.
The entire Western Cape, we are seeing that the curve has flattened. So we are now targeting, certain areas that are concerning, and this is one of those areas. And with the behavior and the adherence to the regulations, it's quite pleasing. Yeah.
He met with representatives of the bus company Go George. They recently went on strike citing safety concerns. These issues have since been resolved. One solution was a cashless system to board buses.
And luckily, they removed the cash on the buses. We got our face shields. And then another thing that we were very concerned about was the socialing distance here at the depot and the collapsed hour in when we changed our shifts. And that was attended to, and at this moment we are quite happy that every measure is put in place.
He also visited the family of a traffic officer who was shot and wounded last week. 29-year-old Janneke Bergman was shot after pulling over a driver in George. The suspect is in custody.
The first thing that I thought was, what if she's dead? She has a small child. She's only 2 years old. And my sister is still very young. She has her whole life ahead of her. I know it's not our will, it's God's will. But questions like that will go through your mind when you hear things like that. And one thing from my side, what I want to say is, I'm glad that the guy is caught. I'm really glad that they caught him.
Madikizela will conclude his visit to the region after a visit to Mossel Bay. Segri Chetty, SABC News, George in the Western Cape.